Good morning. Welcome to State Court of Clayton County. I'm Judge Tammy Long Hayward. This is the May 6th calendar of 2025, jail and arraignment. I'm going to call the arraignment calendar first. And then I'll call the jail calendar. First case on the arraignment calendar is Brian Darnell Adams. Brian Darnell Adams.
State's going to request a bench warrant bond forfeiture, Your Honor.
All right. I don't see an
Your Honor.
attorney. Yes.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The defendant completed the PIA, Your Honor. We're just waiting on the court's signature.
Adams is a child. James Adams Childs. Last call for James Adams Childs.
No response in the courtroom, Your Honor. State's going to request a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
All right, bench warrant bond forfeiture. All right, Iris Nicole Thigpen. Iris Nicole Thigpen.
No response from the courtroom, Your Honor. State's going to request a bench warrant bond forfeiture.
Last call for Iris Nicole Thigpen. All right. Next case, Xavier Warner. Xavier Warner.
The state is requesting a bench warrant.
All right. Last call for Xavier Warner. I'm sorry, W-A-R-N-E-R. All right, bench warrant. Shanice Frizaha
Your Honor, the
Webb.
state is moving to no prospect case.
Webb will be no prost. Next is Tony Lynn Wilcox. Tony Lynn Wilcox.
State's requesting a bench warrant. Also, Your Honor, on the arraignment calendar, Thigpen, the state is moving to no prospect case as well.
All right, thank you. All right, and I call for Wilcox bench warrant bond for. I'm sorry, bench warrant will issue. All right, so I'll go over the arraignment calendar. Adams is a PIA. Child's bench warrant bond forfeiture. Thigpen no pros. Warner bench warrant. Webb no pros, and Wilcox bench warrant. All right. All right, now for the jail calendar. All right, first person on the jail calendar is Antoinette Caesar McCray. Antoinette Caesar McCray.
Your Honor, they are active inmate. If I can just provide in this, I'm sorry, if I can just provide Miss McCray, Caesar, the recommendation, I'm sure it's something that we could resolve.
And Your
right.
Honor, the females have not been brought in yet.
Okay, so when they come in,
We'll speak to them as well.
all right, next is Ronaldo Demond Clark. Ronaldo Demond Clark.
Your Honor, Mr. Lynch has spoken with Mr. Clark, and he'll have an announcement shortly. He had stepped out to speak to another defendant.
All right. Next is Travion Falante Durham. This is a motion to revoke.
So, Your Honor, state's withdrawing that.
Well, the case was closed on April 21st, Your Honor.
Okay. James, I'm sorry, Antoine Darius James.
Your Honor, in the matter of Mr. James, it appears that we have a conflict with a cross-defendant, Miss Mariah Taylor. Miss Taylor has a case pending for the same incident in Judge Spencer's courtroom.
All right, y'all represent Taylor is what you're telling me.
That's correct. And I
Okay.
believe we've already begun the
All
representation.
right, so Ms. Val, if we can get a conflict attorney for Antoine Darius James, case 2025 CR 04396. We can, I guess, give some time for the conflict attorney to get involved. So if we can give like a week to see if we can get a conflict attorney in here, week reset. All right, Todd Lambert.
Your Honor, I've spoken to Mr. Lambert, and we intend to enter a negotiated plea this morning.
Okay. Next is Elizabeth Mascater.
Yes, we just speak with the females too.
And since his attorney is Doug Smith, which means he was upstairs, he had the public defender, and now he's eligible for indigent defense down here.
I guess, Mr. Odister, that's correct, Your Honor. I've completed an appointment order. I'll send shortly.
Okay.
We need to speak with him regarding the recommendation in the case.
Okay. Gerard Elijah Peoples.
We'd ask to have a conference with the defendant, Your Honor.
Mr. Peoples has 2 cases. And Charisma Lisa Roberts.
Yes, Your Honor, we're waiting for the accusation and the recommendation. I believe this was sent down to us from Superior Court.
Okay. Patricia Teagle is a petition.
Ms. Teagle, I believe she is online, and that's to follow up on a VOP hearing from a couple of weeks ago to see if she's in compliance.
Okay, Celeste Victoria Watts.
Yeah, that case is on for a motion to revoke bond. I have been speaking with Mr. Lynch, so I'll just hold for his announcement.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Ms. Watts is present in the courtroom. We do have a negotiated plea. We'll be ready for that momentarily. I am gonna text Ms. Ponder one additional thing, but she's agreed to what's on the table at this point, so she's ready to go forward in lieu of that just brief request from Ms. Ponder.
Okay, and the last case is Larry Weaver.
Your Honor, we did not receive the recommendation and accusation in the balance of the state's information from earlier this week. So we just asked to get a copy of that recommendation accusation. So I can.
And we sent that over to Mr. Lynch
Mr. Lynch.
yesterday. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we're ready to go, I think, on 2, Lambert and Odister.
If you want to bring out Mr.
And
Lynch.
Watts, I'm sorry, 3. No, Lambert and Watts. And then Ms. Teagle is a petition. So that was a follow-up from last week or last time we were on before the court.
Your Honor, we're bringing out Mr. Lambert now.
Okay. All right, this is Mr. Lambert. Mr. Taylor.
This is Mr. Lambert, Your Honor.
Okay. Raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. So, Mr. Lambert, you're before the court on 2025 CR 03982, Todd Lambert. You're before the court for criminal trespass. You're represented by Attorney Taz Taylor, who's with you. Mr. Taylor, what's Mr. Lambert pleading to this offense?
Your Honor, Mr. Lambert's pleading guilty to the single offense of criminal trespass.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty, Mr. Lambert, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself.
Your Honor, your screen seems to have frozen. If you could repeat that, please.
Or hello, am I back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so Mr. Lambert, by entering the plea of guilty, you give up your right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Hi there, Mr. Taylor. Thank you. Your Honor, on April 10th of 2025, police with the Clayton County Police Department were called to 6333 Highway 42 in Rex, Georgia. That is an Amoco gas station in reference to a disturbance. It was determined that the defendant before you, Mr. Lambert, had previously been criminally trespassed from that location, and the gas station attendant wanted to press charges for criminal trespass and have him removed. This did occur in Clayton County, Your Honor. No further. Those are the facts of the case. The state's recommendation is 12 months, served 19 days, credit for time served, balance suspended, and do not return to the incident location. That's the Amoco gas station located at 6333 Highway 42 in Rex, Georgia. Nothing further from the state.
All right, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have nothing further, just ask that the court accept the recommendation from the state.
All right, Mr. Lambert, how old are you, sir?
66, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Lambert, these should be your easy years, but there's something you're struggling with, okay? The one thing I know is that when you start hanging around a certain place, people get to know who you are. So the Amoco people know who you are. Do not go back to the Amoco. You understand? Because they have already had you arrested. They don't want you at their location, all right? And I know that might be a kind of a place that you're familiar with, but do not go back to the Amoco. I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 19 days. Credit for time served balance is going to be suspended. So as long as you do not go back to 6333 Highway 42.
United States?
It does not.
I'm sorry,
42.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
in Rex, Georgia, Clayton County, okay? All right, and before you get out of jail, Mr. Lambert, if you have time, ask to speak to chaplain and see if they have any services for you that might help you with whatever you're dealing with, okay?
I just bought Metro in the last few months, so
Okay,
bought downtown Atlanta, so the new
Yeah.
properties.
Thank you, Your Honor.
all right. All right, take care, Mr. Lambert.
Your Honor, I do have an announcement from the arraignment calendar. We'll go back.
Take it.
Mr. I'm sorry, Your Honor, one moment. Mr. Warner from the arraignment calendar is present in the courtroom. I just wanted to make the court aware.
Hey, Your Honor, if I can just speak with
Mr.
Mr. Warner,
Hold on.
if he would like to speak with the state.
Hold on. Mr. Warner,
Yes, ma'am.
come on up for me. Mr. Warner, you are, do you have an attorney?
No, ma'am.
Did you wish to have an attorney? So here are the options. I can appoint an attorney to you and they can talk to the state, but you have traffic offenses. Usually if you can show proof of currently having at least some of these things fixed, then the state will work with you about your case. So if you want to speak with them.
Your Honor, you were breaking up.
Help them to find some of these charges. Did you wish to have an attorney or did you wish to just speak with Ms. Ponder?
I'll just speak with me upon. Let's see.
How old are you, sir? Are you over 21?
Yeah, man, I'll be 30. And then
Okay.
And Mr. Warner, I'm gonna come down there, once the judge is finished with the calendar. I'm gonna come down there and I'll speak with you about your case and hopefully we can resolve it, okay?
I ain't trying to rush the court process, but I had came up here on my break, so what I need to call my job and tell them I ain't go.
It should be quick. I'm about to head down there
Just
now.
yeah, it should be pretty quick, but you just tell them that you might need to extend your break a little bit, but Ms. Ponder's gonna come down and help you, okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Your Honor, may I just step away so I can go to the courtroom?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am. Go ahead. All right, so I'm gonna give Mr. Taylor, did you want to be put in a breakout room with anybody, or did y'all need a breakout room, or do y'all just need to talk to your people?
We just need to talk to the remaining inmates and wait for them to be brought
Okay.
up. But I do believe Ms. Teagle's online and Ms. Chang's online as well. So if you would like to proceed.
All right, Mr. Tipton, you turned in, right? You're here?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get something, I'm trying to get the Forbes issue resolved, but I can be here for the probation hearing as well.
Okay. So, Ms. Teagle,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to find you. Hold on a second. There you are. All right. So when last we were talking, you were doing some stuff with your job, getting into a program with your job. How you doing, Ms. Teagle?
I'm doing just fine, and you?
I'm good. You look good.
Thank you. I'm with Miss Dorsey. I've seen her twice. They got it set up for me. I turned in the paper for that, turned in the paper for the community service, and turned in the paper for the AA meeting.
So this is Patricia Teagle. This is a continuation of a hearing for a motion to revoke bond. A motion to revoke probation. This is case 2020 CR 00998. Ms. Chang, tell me what's going on with Ms. Teagle's status.
Your Honor, she has provided since she last came to court on April 21st and it was reset for today's date. She has provided a letter from Choices Behavioral Health that I forwarded to you this morning, saying that she is in their care since April 28th and will continue until further notice. She has also provided confirmation via email of AA meetings. There was a gap between March 25th and then she resumed the AA meetings on April 28th. That I also forwarded that this morning. So We're recommending, oh, also, Your Honor, she was drug screened on Friday, May the 2nd, and she tested negative. So we're recommending that she be continued on probation to complete all the special conditions as ordered.
All right. Ms. Teagle, how you feeling? Ms. Teagle, can you hear me?
I'm doing okay.
You doing
Yes, ma'am.
okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
I'm
hear
okay.
you. All
I'm
right.
okay.
I know it's gonna be a struggle, Ms. Teagle. Anything work when you're working for something, anything worth having and to make your life better, there's always some struggle to it. There's
I'm fine. And I got a good doctor.
always
They talking so about my stuff. So she breaking off. I think it's helping maybe.
a lot of times. Go ahead. So I think a lot of times, Ms. Teagle, and I say this about everybody, we have stuff that we have buried so deep that we don't know how to dig it up and deal with it. And so sometimes we need a little help with that.
Yeah.
But once you start getting that help with it, but you look good.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
proud
breaking
of
down.
you.
So thank you. I'm
I'm proud
trying.
of you. I know.
I truly am.
I get it. And I get that Ms. Teagle, what I want for you is in this later season of our lives when, this is the time when we're supposed to be queens. We're supposed to be, living our best lives, having raised our kids, get our grandkids when we want them, not all the time. We're trying to be in that season where we can live our best lives. And that's what I want for you. I want you to deal with the whatever it is you're dealing with that you got to dig up and look at and expose to the sunshine. I want you to deal with that, but I want you to have the benefit of a better life. You got me?
I thank you for it too.
All right. And I know I fuss.
Right.
I know I fuss. I know I do.
You do.
But it's because I want so much for you. Okay, so we're gonna continue on probation. You're gonna continue to check in with your program.
You breaking up.
That
I can't hear nothing.
life.
Judge, I think he froze for a moment.
Yeah.
I'm back. Okay, so Ms. Teagle, we're gonna go ahead and continue you on probation. And did you have any questions before we go on?
No, ma'am. Officer, ask Officer James. They didn't give me a appointment for next month. I don't have an appointment. Ask her to please contact me for my appointment, please.
All right, Ms. Chang, do you have one now that you can give her?
I have one now for Thursday, June the 5th at 3 p.m.
All right. I'll see you then.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Teagle, I'm proud of you. Take care.
Thank you.
All right.
And Your Honor, I have an announcement for the court for Mr. Warner.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, Mr. Warner has agreed to accept the state's recommendation. The state is moving to no pros count 1, 2, and 3 upon Mr. Warner pleading to count 4, $100 fine. The state does not object to a no plea, and we're ready when the court is ready.
All right, thank you. Just let me finish typing. All right. Mr. Warner? Yes.
Excuse me, Your Honor. That's all I had this morning. The Steele's
Yes.
case. May I be
Yes, ma'am.
excused?
Thank you,
Your
Ms.
Honor.
Chang.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Warner, you can come on out to the computer for me. All right, so Mr. Warner, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear over or affirm that any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. All right, this is case 2022CR01398 for Xavier Warner. Mr. Warner, you're over 21 and you're agreeing to represent yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You're before the court on suspended registration, no tag expired or invalid tag, and no insurance, and improper lane change. On the first 1, 2, and 3 will be no pros per the agreement with the state. You're going to enter a NOLO plea to count 4, improper lane change. By doing so, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And Mr. Warner, if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. You understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Factual basis.
Yes, Your Honor. On March the 20th, 2022, officers conducted a traffic stop on Riverdale Road, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers observed a vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed cross over the line divider and return back to the previous established lane without signaling. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is to move to dismiss count 1, 2, 3. Count 4 is a $100 fine, no low.
All right. The court will accept the no process of 1, 2, and 3. Count 4, I'll accept the no low. The fine is $100. It's $151.50 with the surcharges. And sir, did you wish to pay that today or do you need additional time?
I can pay it today.
Okay, so this is what I ask you to do, Mr. Warner. If you head on down to the second window,
Your Honor, you froze again.
go ahead. I'm frozen. Mr. Warner, I'm sorry. I was saying, I'm gonna check in a minute, like what's going on. Do I need to switch channels? But sir, if you just head on down to the second floor, when you get to the traffic court window, they'll take your payment and they'll give you your paperwork and they'll get you out of here as quickly as we can, okay?
Yes, ma'am. So when I
All
pay,
right.
do I come back up here? What, how I do it?
No. When you pay it, you just take your paperwork and you're free to go. All right, take care. All right. All right, 1 second. Give me a minute to check on my on the tech.
I just announced that we need executive session. I think the chance of it, no, very polite.
So she's having medical issues.
Mhm. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry, I had to change channels. All right, can you hear me, Mr. Lynch?
Judge, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all talk to your people unless you have an announcement right now.
I have a one or two that are ready for Mr. Weaver at the end of the jail calendar. He's ready for a plea.
Okay.
And then, of course, Miss Watts. But other than that, I think we need to do a little bit more talking.
Okay.
I do have one announcement though, actually.
Yes.
In addition to that, for Ronaldo Clark,
Yes.
we're going to be entering a not guilty plea today.
All right, so Mr. Clark can go back with the jail. Yeah. He can go back with the jail.
And
Your Honor, do we know if Mr. McCray Caesar wants to have an attorney, or if he'd like to speak with the state?
It's a female, and I don't know that they've gotten to the females yet. Like, I don't know that they brought them up to be able to.
My apologies, Your Honor.
No problem.
Also, Your Honor, I sent Your Honor a bench warrant recall for a Miss Forbes who's in the courtroom. She missed court on Friday.
Okay. So we'll get to her. And let me go ahead and while y'all are talking to people, let me go ahead and sign whatever I'm being sent.
thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Ponder, if you could check your chat in regards to Ms. Roberts.
Okay.
And then the jail is hoping we can get her taken care of.
Are you saying that? Oh, okay. Sorry, I was looking at my phone.
I sent you a chat on here.
Okay, I got it. And I got one from Mr. Taylor as well. So I'll look at both of those and I'll respond to both of those.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, 1 second. Mr. Lynch and Mr. Taylor, I responded to both of you all. Sorry about the delay.
Your Honor, in the matter of Mr. Odester, that will be a negotiated plea, and we're ready when the deputy is ready to bring him out.
This is Mr. Auditor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Christopher Lamar Auditor. Mr. Auditor, you're before the court on case 2025 CR 04071, theft by taking, and two, tampering with, and I'm not sure what the rest of it is because it cuts off on my calendar. Mr. Taylor, you know what the second charge is?
It's just, it's tampering with evidence charge.
All right. Mr. Auditor, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Christopher Lamar Auditor. Mr. Lynch, I'm sorry, Mr. Taz Taylor is your attorney. Mr. Taylor, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, my client pleads guilty to the two offenses.
All right. By entering a plea of guilty to counts 1 and 2, sir, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things, sir?
No.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Ms. Ponder, you're muted.
Madam Deputy Chief, you're muted.
Thank you, Mr. Tipton. On January the 12th, 2025, officers conducted an arrest at 9157 Terra Boulevard, which is the location of the Clayton County Jail. Officers were notified by a correction officer that there was theft that occurred in intake at the jail. Officers reviewed the cameras and observed the defendant taking $100 from another inmate's off the counter. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation for count 1 and 2 is to run concurrent. That's 12 months to serve, 145 days, credit for time served, balance suspended.
All right, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Only thing from the defense is that Mr. Auditor has been in custody since December 19th. I just wanted to put that on the record. Otherwise, we
Right.
request
Is that for us or for something else?
that is for us. He was brought here from Fulton County at that date.
Okay, why is it taking so long for this case to get up to our calendar?
Because it looks to be that.
Your Honor, what initially happened?
Court.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So what initially happened, Your Honor, it was in, as Mr. Taylor said, it was in Superior Court, and then it was transferred to our office on April the 14th. Well, their transfer order was April the 14th, 2025, but initially it was in Superior Court.
Okay. All right, Mr. Auditor, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 145 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be suspended as long as you have no new violations of the laws of the state of Georgia. That will run concurrent on both charges. And sir, I apologize that it has taken your case so long to get to us to be resolved, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so my understanding is Watson Weaver already. Anybody else?
Yes, we would. And he's already talked to him. So, yeah, I don't know. Can you put Ms. Caesar or? Yes, I'll take a note of that.
Mr. Lynch, we ready? Or are you waiting on something?
Judge, we are ready on some matters. I think I know Mr. Taylor's talking to some of the other females. And I think.
Okay, this is who I have left. Caesar McCray, Mascater, Peoples has 2 cases, Roberts, Watts, and Weaver. And I have that Watts and Weaver are ready whenever they come up.
That is true. Ms. Weaver's, and she's not in custody. I mean, I'm sorry, Ms. Watts is not in custody. Mr. Weaver is ready for a plea. Mr. Peoples, I need to speak with him. It should be very quick. I just had to clarify the offer. And I should have an announcement on that quickly. I believe Mr. Taylor is talking to the 2 remaining females. And
All right.
Did you want to, if Ms. Ponder's ready, we could go ahead and do Ms. Watts, if you're.
Ready?
Ready? All right, Ms. Watts, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Celeste Victoria Watts, 2022 CR 00830. You were before this court for a motion to revoke bond, but it's my understanding that that will be withdrawn in lieu of you taking a plea. You're charged with battery, family violence, count 1, battery, count 2, simple battery, family violence, count 3, and simple battery, count 4. Is that correct, Mr. Lynch?
Yes, Judge, and there is another matter pending before the court that we're also going to dispose of here today pursuant to this plea.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor. The state intends to null pros case 2025 CR 02419, which is theft by taking, in lieu of Ms. Watts pleading to case 2022 CR 00830. The state's only request, as it has been communicated to counsel, is that part of her recommendation in case 2022 CR 00830 is that she pay restitution back to the business.
And she has agreed to that, and we, whatever needs to happen to make that happen, she's agreed to. She can pay it to the probation office. Procedurally, whatever needs to happen, we're in agreement with that.
All right. So what is Ms. Watts going to plead to the offenses before the court for battery, family violence, count 1, battery, count 2, simple battery, family violence, count 3, and simple battery?
Judge, she's going to enter a guilty plea, and she's going to ask the court allow her to take that under the First Offender Act.
Okay.
Your Honor, based upon her criminal history, it appears that she is first offender eligible.
Okay. All right, Mr. Watts, she's entering a plea of guilty to count 1 or
I
more?
believe count 1 and
then the rest will merge?
I believe.
Okay. All right, by entering a plea of guilty to count 1 under the first offender statute, and Ms. Watts, I'm sure your attorney has carefully gone over with you the pros and cons of first offender. The pros are it has a wonderful way of giving you a restart on your record if you successfully complete the terms and conditions of your sentence. The con is this is a one-shot deal, and so this is the one time that you get this reset. So please don't waste it because you'll lose that benefit if you do not successfully complete your sentence. All right. So by entering a plea of guilty, you give up the right to have a trial. by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, factual basis recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor, one moment. Your Honor, on February the 2nd, 2022, officers responded to 4233 Jonesboro Road, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers respond to this incident location reference to a domestic disturbance. When officers arrived on scene, they spoke with Faith Williams, later identified as the victim, who stated that her girlfriend, later identified as the defendant, Mr. Watts, had slapped her multiple times. Officers, during the course of their investigation, determined that the defendant did slap the victim multiple times, causing a small abrasion on the left side of the victim's upper lip. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is as follows. "12 months probation to serve 3 days credit for time served, balance probated, a $300 fine suspended, 40 hours of community service to enroll and complete the Family Violence Intervention Program, no drugs or alcohol while on probation, no contact whatsoever with the victim, Ms. Williams. My understanding, she does not want to have contact with the defendant at all, absolutely no contact. In addition, Your Honor, the state is requesting for the victim to pay restitution to Rose's Discount Store, 4851 Jonesboro Road, Forest Park, Georgia, 30297, in the amount of $100. Additionally, Your Honor, Ms. Williams is present on the call, on the Zoom call. She would like to make a victim impact statement. In addition, Your Honor, it's my understanding she is requesting restitution.
For what? What's she requesting restitution for, Ms. Ponder?
Your Honor, there are some documents that Ms. Williams sent to our office. I did inquire from Ms. Hemphill, and so I would like for Ms. Williams to be able to address the court on the restitution that she is seeking.
Hey, but here's the thing, this is for battery, so there's no property damage that I heard. What is the restitution for? Is it for medical expenses? What's it for? I mean,
Ms.
we don't
Williams,
just
are you
free
unable to
out
mute
money.
yourself, please?
It
I'm
was
not-
just for, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I wasn't trying to interrupt.
Can you just raise your right hand? We just want to swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the information and testimony that you're providing to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You can put your hand down. And as the court had inquired, Ms. Williams, what restitution are you seeking?
Just for what I lost during the situation, there was it was just little small items such as clothes and stuff like that. I ended up leaving a dog cage, and the damages to my vehicle were not during that altercation, but those damages were. I had damage, it was a couple,
Okay,
I had a standing mirror
Ms.
that was
Williams.
damaged. It was during my stuff being put out.
Okay, but Ms. Williams, that's not what's before me. And what I'm saying to you is the restitution. That's why I was trying to get Ms. Ponder to tell me what this was about, because the restitution, the Roses thing is for the theft case. She stole from Roses, she's paying them back. if there was a fine, I give you damages for that. But the battery thing, unless it's medical, like you just give money because you had a bad relationship, she damaged things in the relationship. There has to be a criminal charge attached to that. You got me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So now, is there anything else that you wanted me to know?
That was it. The court had already addressed it as far as like just the no contact.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Lynch, did you have anything else before I impose sentence and have a few words?
Judge, I mean, so I do ask that the court accept the plea as negotiated. She is 26 years old. I believe that this is that she does not have an extensive criminal history or violent charges on her record. And so I would ask that the court grant her first offender treatment. I have explained to her the importance of making sure she gets this taken care of. She knows how important it is to report to probation, and that she gets the family violence intervention program done. And so I'm just asking that you accept it as negotiated and accept on her first offender. And I just want to make clear, and I believe this is the case, that as far as the restitution to Rosa's, she's going to pay that to the probation office. She doesn't need to make any. We're in agreement.
I have that in the sentence. I just need to pronounce the sentence. But here's the thing. So Ms. Watts, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty to count 1 under the first offender statute. Counts 2, 3, and 4 will merge. I'll sentence you to 12 months to serve 3 days. Credit for time served. Balance will be probated for you to pay a fine in the amount of $300, 40 hours, and that'll be $444 with the surcharges. 40 hours of community service, a family violence intervention program. That's extremely important to me. It's 24 weeks, it's classes. I need you to take every one of those classes. If you miss more than 3, they'll make you start all over again. You're to have no alcohol or illicit drugs during the course of your probation. You're to have no contact with Ms. Faith Williams in this case. No contact, and by no contact, that means not from a third party, not family members or friends reaching out, no work, text, social media, none of that. Because if you were to have contact with Ms. Williams, you could have the remainder of this sentence revoked, and you could spend the rest of the time in jail. You could also be charged with additional misdemeanors or felonies, including the felony of aggravated stalking, which is punishable by up to 10 years in prison, a $10,000 fine, or both. Are we clear?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. So, and also under the agreed upon negotiated plea, you'll pay restitution in the amount of $100 to Roses, and the address was given earlier. So now, Ms. Watts, let me talk to you. You're 26 years old. I don't know what it is lately about people in these relationships where it's like, I gotta be in this relationship or I'm gonna burn the house down. Everything's gonna go. It's all or nothing. Y'all young people got to learn how to love with love, because nobody wants to be in a relationship with somebody that they're always fighting with. You know, some people think, oh, I'm fighting for my love, and that means I love them hard. There's no such thing as loving hard. That's just crazy. Love should be gentle and protective and warm and caring. And when I walk in my house, I should feel it. I shouldn't always worry about, well, what's going to happen today? Are we going to get into it now? Okay, well, what's this? What's that? Nobody wants that. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
I want young people to start loving in a way that is actually loving. You know, you don't have to control me. If you feel like you got to look into somebody's phone because you don't trust them, relationship's already over. I'm telling you right now. I hear so many people say, when I search their phone, your relationship's over at the point that you feel you need to search your phone. And at some point, we got to learn, for the betterment of ourselves, walk away. Find your peace, your happiness, walk away. Because nobody wants to be. I just did this a couple days ago. Relationship. The guy had gone to the point where he was doxing his former partner, putting his information out on the internet, and doing all. Who wants to be in a relationship with somebody like that? Who wants to be in a relationship where you're punished for being yourself in that relationship? Nobody. So what I ask of you is if you feel like you start to feel that these things coming up again in another relationship, get some counseling. Because we tend to react the same way in relationships because that's all we know. And we also tend to choose the same people. And if those people aren't the people that are good for us and we keep choosing them, we're going to react in the same ways. You got me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I want you to have good love. I don't want you to have love that ends you up in the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So just be mindful that the quickest way to get rearrested and mess up your probation is to not report. So please make sure you report for your probation reports. Also keep in touch with your probation officers. They are amazing at helping to get you successfully through your probation. Okay. They will go to bat for you, but they got to know what's going on. Okay. If you're having any difficulty with the special conditions of probation, and all of these are special conditions, then you got to talk to them about it, okay?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. All right. So when you leave the courtroom, you're going to go out to the right. The courtroom 305, in those first set of double doors coming in, you'll see Miss James. She's going to be in one of those rooms. If she's with somebody, she'll just ask you to wait out in the hall. But with you, when you speak with Miss James, she's going to get you set up with probation. Okay?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, the other thing I ask is I'm going to suspend your probation fees for the first month because I want you to pay that Rose's restitution and get that out of the way for the first month.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? And did you have any questions for me?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right. I want you to love the right way. We clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right. So head on out to get set up for probation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right.
Judge,
Yes.
was that no drugs and alcohol? Are we doing random testing or no?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Random testing. So
All right.
I didn't write that down for some reason. All right. So anybody else ready?
Judge,
Yes.
we're ready on Ms. Caesar, right?
Ready on who?
McCray Caesar.
Okay, come on up. All right. So Ms. McCray Caesar asked for an appointment.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Mr. Taylor, did you hear me?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So is she representing herself or are you representing her is what I'm asking?
I'm representing her, and I've prepared an appointment order that I'll send after court today.
Okay, no problem. All right, Ms.
And Your Honor, we'll scan over her information so that they'll be able to speak with her.
I've already,
Deputy Chief Ponder, I've already provided that to them when I went down to the courtroom.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Tipton.
All right, 1 second.
suspended.
All right, so this is Antoinette Caesar McCray, 2021 CR 05969 for no license, count 1, license suspended, count 2, no tag in 30 days since moving to the new address, count 3. All right, Mr. Taylor, what is your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, my client pleads nolo to count 1 and to count 3. Count 2 should be no prost.
All right, Ms. Caesar McCray, raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. All right, by entering a plea of nolo to counts 1 and 3, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf. You to not incriminate yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On April 30th of 2021, officers with the Clayton County Police Department did observe a vehicle that was being driven by Miss Caesar McCrae, driving with an expired tag. They initiated a traffic stop, and upon making that traffic stop, they determined she was driving without a valid license. Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a $1,000 fine suspended, 11 days to serve, credit for time served, and count 3 will be a suspended fine of $100. This did occur in Clayton County, Your Honor, on Terra Boulevard near Battle Creek Road.
All right, anything else, Mr. Taylor?
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor, just ask that you accept the negotiated plea.
All right, so Ms. Caesar McCrae, I'm going to accept your plea of no load to counts 1 and 3. On count 1, 12 months to serve, 11 days, credit for time served, balance will be suspended. $1,000 fine will be suspended for credit for time served. That will run concurrent with count 3, which is $100 suspended fine. Count 2 is no prost, and you're free to go at this time, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
We can do Weaver next, Judge.
Okay.
And Your Honor, so Ms. Forbes, who's present in court, you signed the bench warrant recall. I just wanted to know whether you would prefer if she could enter a not guilty plea now and we could do that, or if you prefer, I can file a waiver of arraignment and submit a not guilty plea in that manner. I didn't know.
We can do it now. What's her what's the case number?
Sure, I have it right here. Judge, that is 2022 CR 00988.
And what's her name?
Nakia Forbes.
All right, and she's entering a plea of not guilty?
Correct, Judge. She'll enter a plea of not guilty at this time.
Ms. Forbes, you keep in touch with your, what's she charged with?
Theft by shoplifting.
Okay, keep in touch with your attorneys. Don't pick up any other cases or your bond could be revoked and you're free to go at this time, ma'am. All right, Mr. Weaver.
Mr. Weaver. Court is right there. You can look at it.
Mr. Weaver. Raise your right hand for me, sir. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true. Okay, you can put your hand down, Mr. Weaver. So, Mr. Weaver, you're before the court of State of Georgia versus Larry Weaver, 2025 CR 04399. You're represented by Owen Lynch, who's standing next to you. Mr. Lynch, what does Mr. Weaver plead to the offense of criminal trespass?
Judge, he pleads guilty.
All right, Mr. Weaver, by entering a plea of guilty to criminal trespass, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yeah, sure. Yes, Your Honor. On March the 11th, 2025, Officers responded to 226 North Main Street, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236, which is the business of Exxon. Officers observed that an individual was laying in front of the establishment unresponsive. When officers made contact with the individual, wait 1 second, sorry. Um, okay, I just wanted to make sure, Your Honor, I apologize. On this day, officers observed the defendant land in the parking lot of the property after he was told numerous times before not to return. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is as follows. 12 months to serve, 60 days, credit for time served, balance suspended on the condition that he does not return to that location, being the business of Exxon at 226 North Main Street, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236.
Okay, Mr. Lynch.
Yes, Judge, we do ask that you accept that recommendation. He does understand that he's not to return to that Exxon.
All right, Mr. Lynch, do you have any family or anybody who can help you kind of get stable?
She's asking.
I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Weaver. Do you have any family who can help you get stable?
He's saying he has a friend that he stays with.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Weaver, don't go back to that Exxon, okay, for me? All right, thank you, sir. Your 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served, balance will be suspended as long as you do not go back to the Exxon at 226 North Main Street, Jonesboro, Georgia, Clayton County, okay? All right, take care of yourself, Mr. Weaver. All right. You can go back with the sheriff. Okay, I have left on the calendar 2 cases for Peoples and 1 case for Roberts.
Judge, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I know that we're holding on Roberts and Peoples. And I'm sorry, I do need to follow up. If I could just relay some additional information to those clients.
I'm sorry, I lost all of that. Are we ready on them or not?
I'm not ready, Judge, but I just
Okay.
need a couple additional minutes.
All right, just let me know.
Thank you, Judge. Sorry for the delay. Actually, Your Honor, could I request a brief breakout room with Ms. Ponder if she's still on there? Or if not, I guess I can give her a call.
Okay, no problem.
I'm here.
Sorry, Ms. Ponder, I'm just having issues with my phone.
No, you're fine.
If we could just do a quick breakout room, I think we can maybe.
Okay, absolutely.
Invitation has been sent.
Thank you.
Hey, Shabria.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, so I was looking at these incident dates, and if you can, in the police reports and the accusation, it appears that this was accused twice, but if you look at it, it's the same incident.
Okay, give me 1 second, okay? And I have an update on Peoples.
There it is.
That's me. It just ain't started yet.
It started. It's been started, she said. It's been started. It's been started, but they hadn't came up.
We're almost finished. We have 2 cases left. Are you on the calendar or did you have a question? Hello?
You're my, don't hit the camera. That's gonna show you. Don't hit the camera.
Don't hit that.
Okay. Mr. Taylor, are you ready?
Your Honor, this is Miss Mascatir,
Okay.
and I just, the victim in the case is her husband. I see on it.
That's what I told you. I mean, it's my husband.
Okay, is present in the courtroom. I believe he just finished speaking with the victim advocate, and we're trying to determine what the state wants to do to proceed with the case or not. Does he wish to make a statement?
Ma'am, you face forward, please, do not turn around. Ma'am, listen, do not look, face forward, please.
Okay.
Ms. Ponder, Ms. Hemphill sending you a message.
Ready?
Are we ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Nate is ready.
Okay.
Your Honor, as I said earlier, the husband and alleged victim is in the courtroom. I'm not sure if you wanted to address.
Okay.
We've spoken with him, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, if he's in the courtroom, I mean, does that change how we're moving forward with the case? This is case 2025 CR 04397, Elizabeth Mascater. Raise your right hand for me, ma'am.
Your Honor, it's a not guilty plea today. If the state
All right.
has adjustment to their position in the
All
matter.
right, she's not guilty. Anything else?
I'd request
Interesting.
that bond be reduced. She is currently in custody on a $3,500 bond. Her husband has expressed to the victim advocate that he wants her to come home.
And Your Honor, I would object to counsel.
Okay, hold up,
regarding
stop,
the
stop. Okay, first of all, y'all gonna start listening to me and stop interrupting me. Number two, the bond is reasonable for what she's charged with, she's fine. And number three, when do we just drop cases because the victim in a battery case wants to drop cases without first figuring out how far this goes back, whether there's other factors that we haven't considered. Every battery victim wants to drop the case. Every single one, 90% of them. So she's gone back with the sheriff. The bond is what it is. it's a not guilty. All right. Who we got
Thank you.
next? All right, last two cases are Peoples and Roberts. Let me know what's going on.
Ms. Ponder?
Yes, I was waiting for you. I had an update on Peoples. I was just waiting for you to get back.
Sorry.
So we did have an opportunity to look closer to what you informed us. So the state is moving to dismiss case 2025 CR 03759. And so for case 2025 CR 03985, the state is moving forward with that. However, on count 2, I know we said 60 hours, it would just be 20.
Okay, okay. So it's a total of 60 hours.
Yes,
And then,
instead of 100. And then the other case will be dismissed. It is the same incident date. It just has 2 separate report numbers.
yeah, there was something about him getting re-fingerprinted, but it seems like there was a mistake there.
Yeah, so thank you for bringing that to my attention.
No problem. Okay, so just so I'm clear, it's going to still be the anger management, 60 hours total community service.
And I will, give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. And I will remove the fine for
Okay.
his time in custody.
Thank you. All right.
We'll suspend it, but
gonna
yeah.
be-
Okay, well, I'm ready, whenever you are. And the court is ready.
I'm ready. It's Peoples up. We ready?
We're ready for People's Judge.
All right. All right, Mr. Peoples, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down. You're before the court on State of Georgia versus Gerard Elijah Peoples. You're represented by Attorney Owen Lynch. You have 2 cases before the court. Your attorney and the state have agreed on case 2025 CR 03759 to null pros that case. The court is proceeding on case 2025 CR 03985 for simple battery, family violence count 1, simple battery, family violence count 2, and simple battery count 3. Mr. Lynch, how's your client plead to the offenses before the court?
So I believe it's going to be a guilty plea to count 1, and I believe it's simple assault, family violence, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
have simple simple, and it just says family violence. So if it's simple assault, that's fine.
And then
It just-
count two, simple battery, family violence, and then count three should merge.
Okay, so he's pleading to counts 1 and 2?
Yes, Judge, that's my.
All right, and 3 will merge. All right, by entering a plea of guilty to counts 1 and 2, you give up the right to have a trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you are not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Factual basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On April the 7th, 2025, officers responded to 510 Handover Circle, apartment 510 Stockbridge, Georgia, located here in Clayton County, Georgia. Officers respond to this incident location due to a domestic disturbance. Upon their further investigations, officers determined there were 2 victims in the case. Yolanda Brown, Yolanda, last name Brown, Brown, and also Layla Tuck, Layla, last name Tuck, Tuck. Officers learned that Miss Brown is the mother of the defendant and Miss Tuck is the sister of the defendant. Mr. Peoples slammed the victim into the sink, Miss Tuck into the sink using both arms in an aggressive manner. As the mother tried to intervene, officers observed the defendant, grabbing the victim. Those are the facts of the case, Your Honor. The state's recommendation is as follows. For count 1 is 12 months to serve, 30 days credit for time served, balance probated, to enroll in complete anger management, 40 hours of community service, and to have no contact with the victims, Layla Tuck and also Yolanda Brown. Your Honor, Ms. Brown, the mother, wanted us to communicate to the court that she does not want to have any contact with the defendant at all. She indicated that she is in fear of the defendant and has safety concerns and does not want him to return to her residence along with her daughter. Count 2 is 12 months to run concurrent to count 1, a $500 fine suspended, 20 hours of community service, and count 3 will merge to count 2.
Okay. Mr.
Your Honor,
Lynch?
just for the record, based upon further investigation, it appears that his other case, 2025 CR 03759, is the same incident with this as the case he is taking a plea, so the state is moving to null pros.
All right. All right. So, Mr. Lynch, anything on behalf of Mr. Peoples, any concerns that the court should be aware of?
Judge, from speaking to Mr. Peoples, he does understand what's going on in this case. He does tell me that he is working at this time and should be. And from speaking to him, I think he can succeed on probation. I don't have any concerns as to his competency at this time, Judge. That's kind of where we are.
Mr. Peoples, how old are you, sir?
25.
How old?
25.
You said 25?
Yeah.
All right, so Mr. Peoples, you're well past the point of being able to live with your mom, okay? She has some significant concerns. Nobody should make their mama feel fear. You got me?
Yeah.
Your mama should not be afraid of you. Your sister should not be afraid of you. All right, you're not allowed to go back to that location. You're not allowed to have contact with your mother or your sister. If you were to have contact with them, then you'll be right back before me, and I'll be talking about revoking the remainder of your sentence, which would have you in jail until the end of the 12 months. Do you understand?
I do.
All right, so I'm going to accept your plea on case 2025 CR 03985, count 1 guilty. 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served, balance will be probated for you to take a family violence intervention program class. It's a 24-week class. You miss days, they'll make you start all over again. You don't have time to start all over, so please be diligent. And 40 hours of community service to run concurrent is 12 months. Balance will be probated for a $500 fine, suspended, but 20 hours of community service in addition to the first 40 hours of community service. You understand?
No, I don't.
All right, so you got to start thinking about what your life is going to look like for the rest of your life. Okay, you're 25 right now. You got to start planning and thinking about the future, especially if your mama is so scared of you, she's not going to be in your corner to help you.
All right.
You understand?
I've been planning to like thinking on what I'm gonna do and everything and how I'm gonna move. I feel like I'm gonna do all right now.
Okay, you can go back with the sheriff's office.
Judge,
Yes.
was that anger management or family violence intervention program?
Anger management.
Anger management? How y'all get to that?
What's it, you know, Judge?
Usually, Your Honor, the reason why I offer anger management was because they were not in a romantic relationship. So I know that mom had stressed she wanted anger management, but typically when it's like siblings or parent and child, I offer anger management. When it's a romantic relationship, I will offer FFIP.
And Judge, just to, and I think that makes sense from the state. I'll also just, in this case, Judge, I think that given Mr. People's circumstances, I think an anger management course may be more, he should have the ability to complete that financially, and just with his overall circumstances, I think it would be a more
All right, anger management instead of family violence intervention.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, are we ready on Roberts?
If I may have just one moment. So,
Wait, what?
Judge, if I may just have one moment, I'm trying to find out. So, Judge, Ms. Roberts, ultimately, what I may ask is that this case be continued to the next jail calendar.
Well, okay, I'm good. We're gonna continue it.
The issue is just the court's aware, it may be for a non-negotiated plea. Ms. Roberts is currently 8 months pregnant, but there are some issues in this case as far as, and some information I need to find out as far as her custody status. And the recommendation from the state would have her doing additional time. So I just, but I'm trying to find out if
Okay, Mr. Lynch, this is what I know from magistrate court. Pregnant women will fight. They'll fight into their 8th and 9th months. I have seen it. They have come to court. I have had to put them in jail for fighting into their 8th and 9th months. And they're usually fighting over the baby daddy. So, or fighting with the baby daddy. Let me just tell you, her status as a pregnant person has less bearing on this case than anything else, because if she will fight pregnant, she can do jail pregnant. So I'm not pressed about that. What I'm pressed about is, are we moving forward, or is this like they're not giving you what you want? So now you go, I don't care. But if we're going to continue it, let's continue it. If we're going to figure it out, let's figure it out. But the whole back and forth, and I mean, what are we doing?
I understand the court's position. If you could just give me 2 minutes and I'll make an announcement.
Okay. But you know, that whole thing about, oh, she's pregnant. She wasn't too pregnant to fight. Now, I done seen some pregnant women waylay some people. Trust me, 4 years in magistrate court, you see some things. All right. See you in a minute.
Yes, Judge, thank you for allowing me that time. We would respectfully request that Ms. Roberts be placed on next week's jail calendar, and we will likely enter a non-negotiated plea at that time.
All right, works for me. Anything else before we leave?
Do we have anything else?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor. I just
All
had
right.
one question about one of the cases on the calendar, for the arraignment calendar. Did Miss Wilcox ever appear?
No.
Okay,